We have on discussion now Juho Lukkari, who is a mountain guide working in at the moment mostly in Central Europe. Have I understood right?
Yeah. I've been working now this last summer. I was quite intensively in the Alps. Working in the Alps. Normally, I don't work so much in the summer Alps because at this time of the year I'm normally in South America for ski touring. But this pandemic stuff, it was impossible to go there this year. So I worked quite a lot in the Alps this summer. Yeah. As you said, I'm working like full-time guide, and not only in the Alps but many other places in the world. It's lot in the Andes and also in the North Scandinavia.
Yeah, and if I understood right, the summer climbing season is about to be over now, and you have a little bit leave before the winter season begins.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Now it's early over. It's beginning to snow in the high altitudes in the Alps, and so it's the summer alpinism. It's not possible in that manner anymore. So it's time to wait for the skiing season.
Yeah, and also you get little bit time to relax and get your body back in shape for the coming winter.
Yeah, exactly. How about you, Mika? You are there in Finnish Lapland, and you're skier.
Yeah. At the moment, I live in Äkäslompolo, just beside the ski center Ylläs here in Finnish Lapland. My home place is about 200 kilometers from the Norwegian border, so I tend to spend a lot of time in the Norwegian Lapland, also in Lyngen area and Tamokdalen. And yeah, I'm a skier. I think like the special character in my skiing is that I've got disabled at the age of 3, and it's left me with a permanent handicap in my left hand and left leg. And it makes the skiing and moving in the mountain in somewhat more difficult maybe than my peers like you, but still I think I managed quite well there. I've done it for, I've been a sponsor of freeride skiers for at least 15 years now. So in that wise also, I think I've done pretty well in my skiing career so far.
Yeah, I've been watching your skiing. Like we never skied together so far, but I've been watching your.
That's actually true. And that's actually true. We never skied together. It's kind of peculiar because we know each other quite well, but we never spent a day in the mountain together so far.
But it's nice to see your motivation towards the sport and everything. It's a good thing. And now you have a big goal, or yeah.
Yeah. The goal is to be in autumn time 2021, if the pandemic only allows us to go, in top of Marmolejo. It's a 6,000, little bit over 6,000 meter volcano in South Patagonia. And
yeah. Okay. Yeah, we were talking about the Marmolejo. Marmolejo it's actually a bit over 6,000 meter high, and it's actually the southernmost 6,000 meter peak in the world. More towards the South Pole, there's nothing that high anymore. And it lies there in the central Andes region, quite close to the Chilean capital Santiago. the mountain range is quite big. It's known for its like long valleys, remote area, and actually for the characteristic for this area is winter precipitation climate and lot of wind. Central Andes and Southern Andes, but towards Patagonia, it's always a lot of wind. But and in that kind of altitude, is always in Central Andes, the wind is the thing that it's the master, you know.
Yeah.
So this mountain lies in the border between Chile and Argentina. Actually, you could access this mountain from both sides, from Chile and from Argentina.
Okay.
But it's as I said, this area, the valleys are very long, and in Argentina there are some traversal valleys in between the lowlands and the border area. So the access is quite much longer from the Argentinian side. So the best way to get to this mountain is from Chile.
Okay, and that's why we are going from Chile then.
That's the idea, because this mountain, it's let's say it would be interesting to go from Argentina, but the area is very remote, and then the distances are very long in the highlands, so it would be difficult.
Yeah,
but
you said that the approaching from Chile side is not that long as from Argentinian side, but how long is actually approximately the approach?
You know, in Spanish language, if you spell marmo lejos is far away. So that's what, and it actually it is. You have you access one camp which is called the base camp. It's not directly at the base of the mountain, but you access that in one long day in the summertime. And it depends on the logistic or the let's say the snow line and everything. I think that's also the base camp is accessible in one long day. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And because you start from the road. If you go in the springtime there, because the southern hemisphere, so here is autumn and there's spring, so it's springtime. We can access by car the road about altitude of 2,400 meters, and and the base camp lies like almost 1,000 meters higher in the valley.
Okay.
But after the base camp, there's also like another leg to access to the mountain. The camp which is called the camp number 1, and that's actually the first camp after on this mountain. But it's already on like a kind of a ridge of that mountain, and it's called the Camp 2. It's roughly over 4,000 meters. Then we have of course we have the second camp 4,000 meters, bit over 4,000 meters, and the Camp 2 is around at the border of the glacier, then about 1,000 meters higher, so about 5,000 meters. So and of course we need an acclimatation. We can't just go like an alpine style. So that means,
for sure.
Yeah. So actually, from let's say from valley to valley, we need we need maybe like 2 weeks for this, or a bit less than 2 weeks. At least 10 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on the if everything would go perfect with the weather and everything, it would be like 10 days.
Okay.
Would be like the perfect, but it's a 6,000 meter peak, and we also want to enjoy the skiing. You know, there it's just
it's not just a big push to the top and coming down. We want to ski also, enjoy the skiing and do a proper acclimatization and stuff like that. So
so I think depends on the snow conditions, on the way in the valley, in the mountain. There are some possibilities to do some ascent for the acclimatization and so on. And the idea from the top would be ski there's like a line to, if we access from the west, so it would be a line to ski down towards the southwest.
Okay. Yeah.
South side is the shady side there, and there's actually on that side like a tongue of glacier just from the top, so it would be the obvious line to ski.
Yeah.
And it means that we won't descend directly to the way we went up, but we have to see how we handle this and how we do the. That would be the idea to ski down.
Yeah. It's kind of weird to imagine that everything is kind of upside down. South side is the shady side, and
Yeah.
I've never been to Southern Hemisphere, so it's gonna be quite interesting in that way also.
Yeah, it's always you don't. It's like you feel it's kind of crazy because the sun goes the wrong direction. You know.
Yeah.
It's,
I can imagine.
Yeah.
About the mountain, how technical actually is the Marmorejo to climb up? I'm asking because if the climbing gets very technical, it's gonna be really pretty slow for me. I can handle it, but the pace gets slower and slower all the time. The more difficult the climbing gets, and that might cause some issues, like staying in the timetable and stuff like that.
No, it's quite like going up is quite easy way. You know, maybe the steeper places are getting to the ridge where the camp 1 is, and
Okay.
then and in the end, to get to the top, like the last cone, but it's like a volcanic cone, like this kind of terrain. So not really like the difficulty is not the technical part. It's just it's the of course we it's about the climate or the cold weather and the wind. I said already that the wind is it placed the headmaster there. So and
the high altitude and
the high altitude, because we have it's cold and high altitude. You have the problem that you can't, you are limited in the possibility to move fast to be warm. So, so let's say so that's the basic of the game. And of course, I would wanted to say, okay, that's basically the challenge, the height, and of course, we are moving in a period of year which is not the warmest period of year. So I think the cold weather is combined with the thin air it's challenge.
For sure. For sure, but then again, it's kind of a good thing that we are from pretty cold atmosphere to come from. So the cold weather possibly is not that much of an issue to us than maybe for people who come from California or something like that, because we already know how to clothe ourselves and how to keep ourselves warm in Arctic conditions. But of course the altitude and the low pace makes the game a little bit different. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I think the one issue it's very remote mountain, so we also have to take care that our equipment is very reliable, you know.
Yeah.
And because we can't we don't allow that it's something important breaks in the middle of that, because then it's might be game over. And then that's one like an extra thing which you have to consider in this kind of trip.
Yeah, for sure. And in equipment, I think you mean more than like ski equipment. Of course, if the binding breaks and you can't fix it over there, it's an issue for sure. But I imagine that you mean other equipments too than just the bindings and skis and stuff like that.
Overall, because yeah.
Actually, talking about that, what kind of equipment you need when you go to these high altitude expeditions?
It's always an evaluation of the also the weight, the reliability. You know, you need the warm clothing and a warm clothing, warm sleeping bag, and you need like a camping equipment as well, which is really wind resistant. I've been a lot in Central Andes. People who guide in Central Andes and who guide in Himalaya, they many of them say that they never seen in Himalaya such storms than in Central Andes.
Okay.
So that's the wind is just can be really a big thing. So that's for sure. Like that's the thing, and and then you need we need let's say the technical equipment to get up. We need kind of like because it's not technical. We may have hard snow or even ice some point. So we need some the
crampons and
stuff like that should be quite light but still reliable, and the skiing equipment also we can afford to carry up very heavy equipment, but and we don't need very like that kind of skiing. You don't need really super fat ski, or you need more like the reliable all rounder or
reliable lightweight all rounder. Yeah, and sharp edges. That's what I learned. Yeah, that's what I learned when we were in Elbrus. You really need sharp edges because the snow can be very hard and it can be very icy, especially when you go higher.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's an interesting game. Like when the peak is more than 6,000 meters, then you have you have to be fit enough on the summit day, and that's the idea in the preparation, that you can like maintain your constitution until the end of the trip, like to do the summit and have it everything in the safe, on the safe side, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's the I think that's the goal of the preparation.
Yes, for sure, because you must understand that when you have the summit day, you won't be going on fresh feet there, because you have done acclimatations, and there's already a long trip behind you before the summit day, and you still have to be able to move and do things safely.
Yeah, sure. Exactly, and you are not going to be perfectly acclimatized for 6,000 meters.
Yeah.
So that's the last camp will be a bit more than 5,000 meters, and to be perfectly acclimatized for this kind of camp altitude, you would need more time, but it's always an optimization of let's say the time and the conditions as well. And the time is also a thing, because it's very difficult to also for the logistics, if we need more time and we need more weight in the backpack.
Yeah, because only that much food that you can carry at the one time to the base camp. And
yeah, of course, yeah,
for sure. Yeah, about the training then, when you prepare yourself to an expedition like this, I know I have been prepared once before when we went to Elbrus. It's it's 5,000 meters, a little bit over, and it was for me it was like it was my first high altitude expedition, but it was like 2 years process to get in the shape that I was comfortable with to go up there. I think at the moment, since I've been doing like this backcountry stuff such a long time, my basic shape is way better than in 2013 when we went to Elbrus. So I don't need that much time to like feel comfortable with my own condition and own shape, but still it feels like we have now, well, actually quite exactly 1 year, and it kind of feels in my back of my head that that's not that long. you know what I mean? But what I was saying, yeah, about the preparation. You have to be you have to consider quite systematically what you do and when you do it to be in the most like in the best conditions you can be at that exact moment in autumn 2021, and really focus on that. It might be hurting some of my next winter's skiing, but still, when I have that focus, I think I can handle it mentally pretty well, hopefully. But on next winter, I know that I have to do things a little bit different than I would do in a normal winter.
Yeah, but I think we need to focus on two, I'd say, two columns of properties which are important for that, and the first you can't avoid things like that. You like let's say long time endurance, like the ultra endurance. That's just based on the metabolism of the body. Yeah. That's the base column that it's. But as you said that you've been talking about your like the basic fitness, or it's just a lot about that, because you have been doing now more of the let's say the backcountry skiing and skiing up and long days as well. So you have more maybe more let's say solid ground on that. But it's just the most important is that it's not so important the maximal pace of the maximum pace that you go up there, because however we don't aim that we are on that summit day we are super fast, because it's totally another game. But the thing is how fit you are when you're skiing downhill there. And that's has a lot to do with the like with the ultra endurance, like with this stuff. But it also has to do with the second column, which is the, let's say, how your muscle system and the muscle coordinative system is doing, because if the muscle coordinative system and your means also your strength, actually, if that's not on good level, then in that kind of exercises as a summit day, you're gonna lose so much energy already, like for that. If you're not prepared for this for that discipline. I mean in a way that your muscles and muscle coordination,
and I think in the future we're gonna go a little bit deeper on that, and how you can what you should do to get like these things better, and in what kind of rhythm you have to train. But I think that's for the future conversation that we're gonna have, and hopefully we get some ultra training specialists also to join us.
Yeah,
join us on the next one. But the main difficulty in my opinion in this kind of thing, well it's in every backcountry skiing, when you're touring up and skiing down, is that like physio, how do you say in English, like with your with your physical competence, that first you have to do really low pace, like long aerobic exercise to go up from 2 to 4-6 hours depending on the mountain, and then you have to switch on the skis, and you have to be ready to react really very fast when you're skiing down, and it's like a whole different world when you're coming down compared when you do what you're doing before, and that is what makes it pretty interesting actually, and pretty difficult to handle.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult to handle, but it's I was thinking it like it is actually what I was thinking, like the good training for the mountain is actually good training for the life.
That's true.
It's so integral. You if you can manage in the mountain, you can manage in many other situations as well. I think it's a very interesting field. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I think those words are exactly the right words to end our conversation at this time. Thank you very much, Juho, to have the time to talk with me, and we will continue in short time with more on the training side and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm really looking forward to how we dig deeper into that preparation and training. It's going to be great. Huh?